What up, Patreon family? I hope y'all are doing well. I am coming at y'all once more with another revisited celebrity natal chart reading, this time on Marques Houston. So, in a nutshell, he did a couple of interviews, or I think one sit-down interview recently, and where he expressed the sentiments regarding his marriage, which has been very controversial due to the massive age gap between he and his wife. He married his wife a few years back when she was 19 and he was all of 39, 38. He's now in his early 40s. I think she's about 22, 23. So he's essentially old enough to be her damn daddy, okay? And when you also add into the equation the fact that she was a reported runaway, it's just a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. People have been raising their eyebrow. And it also doesn't help that he has this lingering dark cloud over his reputation after being accused of molestation alongside Chris Stokes. Raz B from B2K definitely came out and put him on blast a long time ago, accusing him and Chris Stokes of doing inappropriate things with him as well as the other members of B2K. I believe someone else in the industry came out and was accusing him of the same thing, but nothing ever really happened or became of these allegations, especially from a legal standpoint. But we still hoping we want justice for Raz B. We want justice for Raz Berry, because y'all did that man so fucked up. However, I digress, okay? So all of this is kind of what is compounding and contributing to the dialogue that is being had about Marques Houston at the moment. So what I want to do is take a look at his natal chart to put his most recent actions into context, as well as this marriage that he has going on with this young woman. So, Marques Houston was born on August 4th, 1981 in Los Angeles, California. I mean, Leo rules children. Literally. And a lot of Leo placements can be very big on children, whether they love children, a huge part of their purpose, especially if we're talking about someone with their sun in Leo, could be derived from children, whether they are teachers, whether we're talking about having children of your own, or children could play a very prominent, dominant role in their lives. In Marques Houston's case, with his sun conjoined to his Leo North Node, you could interpret this as in this lifetime, he is supposed to experience the joy of fatherhood, or that's a part of his destiny, which he does have a child with this young woman. So, that could be a part of it, very much, where, having children and things like that could be a huge part of, like, what he places his energy and what he is focusing on, specifically later in life. However, with his sun in opposition to that Aquarius South node, this could also be interpreted as a connection with children that could be perverse, or someone who could have grown up in an environment like that and where their energy was directed towards him as a child, which would make sense both ways, theoretically, right? It could also deal with him being in the industry and being surrounded by perverted individuals, influences. Also definitely checks out in regards to Raz B's story. But even this particular situation with this girl, this child, honestly, who, he was messing with, essentially. And then you also take into consideration the fact that with him being a birth number 4, the number 4 is ruled by Uranus, as is Aquarius. So, these people are naturally, they can be kind of weird. Aquarius also deals with homosexuality. So, once again, it checks out. Especially with his sun in opposition to that Aquarius South node. him being involved in homosexual activity. Now, some of the people who violated him, of course, this adds up with him having a lot of same-sex experiences in regards to that, but it doesn't always have to be. So I'm gonna start out by saying I don't feel like he is heterosexual, which is okay. But to me, this reads like I'm not heterosexual, honestly. And I'm going to take it a step further because he also has his Libra moon conjoined to Saturn. This could be more or less of a PR aspect in terms of there being a desire to marry in efforts to protect your image or your reputation. Now, another way this aspect can be interpreted as him having complete and total control over that girl. All right, where he could be married to a woman who is very impressionable. The moon in Libra is very impressionable. They mimic, even on a personality level, a lot of that can be shaped by their partner. So with his Saturn conjoined to her moon, it's almost like he wants to be an authority figure, a father figure, having complete domination over her, where he carries the majority of the weight, the responsibility in that marriage. And that could also lead to a person being very cruel or having the capacity to be very cruel and unkind and unloving. But it also speaks as a very transactional relationship, business like almost. This could also speak to a marriage where there could be a significant age gap or age difference, which check. This aspect could deal with him wanting to mold her personality. Honestly, in tandem with his Venus in Virgo, I could see this even playing out in him trying to have a say-so in everything that she does. Him interjecting and inserting himself in the things that she does, all the way down to her appearance, where he may try to make her dress a certain way, or while she's with him, maybe she has to show up as more conservative, especially with that Venus in Virgo. It's like where classy, she has to be classy and have a certain level of like etiquette and decorum. And I don't know if y'all seen this most recent picture that came out of them. The girl, niece, is like 22, 23, and you could tell there was like an intentional decision, I don't know on whose part, but I'm speculating probably his, to make her appear more mature than what she is. She should be wearing city girl fashions. She's at that age, right? I mean, although she doesn't have to, but you get my point. She was dressed like somebody's like 40-year-old Amy, and she had the old Amy purse on. Like it was the pocketbook, the hair. I was like, it aged her at least by like 7 years. And I was just kind of like, what? But that's very moon conjoined Saturn, like especially in Libra, where he may want her to dumb down her appearance, where she could be looking real homely, like that would probably be more of what would appeal to him. And once again, it's a control thing. Also, Marques's Saturn is conjoined to Jupiter. He has Jupiter conjoined to this Libra moon. He has a huge Libra stellium, which could also speak to a lot of this shit, once again, not just being for show. Like, she may be convinced of it, but, it's like there's a lot of how he governs, once again, is going to be shaped and influenced by him trying to manage and stay in good standing with the public, honestly. Now, with his Jupiter factored into the equation, that Jupiter conjoined to the moon, that could deal with where religion is a huge way that he kind of, it's another component that dominates his relationship, his marriage. And he does refer to the fact that he and his wife are Jehovah's Witnesses. He's done this I'm a Jehovah's Witness rebrand, which is very moon conjoined to Jupiter. These are people who can be very religious, but with it being in Libra, I could see his wife adopting it. I don't even think she met him as a Jehovah's Witness. And if she did, I guarantee you she's not. Come on, she was a kid. She wasn't practicing the way he was practicing. He got her and molded her because she was very impressionable. Venus in Virgo could also lead to grooming behavior within relationships. So let's just put that on the table right there as well. Venus in Virgo could also deal with like virginity, where that may have been something that was appealing to him about her. Like maybe her being a virgin when they first met, or him wanting a girl, like, which would make sense, wanting a child or somebody innocent, where it's like him having a virgin would be like in his mind, like, that's what I want, which also makes sense in terms of why he was talking about how he didn't want to date women his age, because, they're too independent or whatever the case may be. Venus Virgo individuals also like to feel needed. So he probably think he doing her some type of favors, but once again, a lot of it is just sheer control, and he uses religion to justify the fuck shit. He also has same-sex attraction Mars placement. His Mars is in Cancer, so that don't make it no better, and it's also squaring his Saturn, which could further bring home this idea or further add to this theory that there's something about his sexuality, Mars and Cancer, that he's working really hard to control. Okay, with that Saturn, with that square to his Saturn in Libra. He also has his moon, that Libra moon squaring his Mars. Now, that could deal with him being very demanding towards women, or wanting his wife to really function like a mother and do so in the more traditional sense. So her being at the house, cooking, cleaning, taking care of him. That housewife shit, which once again is another reason why he would probably want someone, who he can get over on in that regard. Ooh, he also has that sun at the 12th degree. The number 12 can deal with victimization. So having the sun in Leo, literally like the victimization of children with the sun at the 12th degree. And this is kind of spooky. Spooky vibes, spooky times. And he's so like narcissistic with that Sun Mercury conjunction that he's willing to sit down and do interviews about it. Like, he talks about it like he's, oh my God, he's so pretentious. But also, too, like I said, a lot of this could be PR, just an effort to throw people off of his trail, to look a certain way. So he's very conscientious of what people say about him and how they talk about him. And he's going to do everything in his power to make sure he shifts the narrative into his favor. But you can't cheat the stars. This man is weird. He's a weirdo, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the video on that note. Y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about his chart, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.